Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
We know the pandemic isn't going anywhere anytime soon, but what about schools? Could our kids be seeing some normalcy in the classroom? I'll give you a timeline.
All right, Nick, a new change for the new year in the Washtenaw County Prosecutor's Office, the policy that could help give some offenders an easier path to a second chance.
But we start here at 6 with severe weather. Storm Tracker 4 following a winter storm making its way through Metro Detroit. A winter weather advisory is in effect for all of southeastern Michigan. That storm making things very messy this afternoon with snow and freezing rain out on the roads. Paul Gross is in for Ben tonight. He has the very latest. Paul?
Well, Storm Tracker 4 is showing you very clearly what's going on, and you see that band of freezing rain that has advanced northward and the break that has come in behind it. So that is a piece of expected, really good news, but we're still getting some pretty decent freezing rain here along the I-69 corridor there. So, but again, below it to the south here, you can see there's not a whole lot going on here. We just have little splotches of stuff. So overall, things have trended better for the immediate next few hours, but we do have a resurgence of moisture coming in. Now, temperatures are critical. We are now above freezing in Detroit, Taylor. Metro Airport was above freezing last hour. You've now slipped back to 32 in Romulus. That's our metro zone. West Bloomfield has fallen back to 30 degrees. We have 32 right now in Dundee, 32 in Adrian, 32 in Saline. That's an even freezing. 31 at Whitmore Lake. We have 31 at Gregory, 32 in Howell in our west zone, and north zone, as you would expect, we're all below freezing here. A bunch of 30s in there. Port Huron across to Romeo, Oxford, Ortonville, Pontiac, Lapeer, you're at 31, as is Melvin. Deckerville, you're at 30 degrees. So for this evening, temperatures are going to start nudging upward just a degree or two. We will probably get above freezing, maybe just barely down to the south, but to the north, we're going to stay at or below freezing. So we'll really nail this all down for you. I've got a new computer model that's just coming in, and we will have that for you in just a bit. But don't forget, the Local Forecasters app has that same live radar we show you on TV with the color coding, so you can see the difference between rain, freezing rain, snow. So that's free from the App Store. It's the best weather app in the nation. Just search under WDIV.
All right, thank you, Paul. Now to the very latest on the coronavirus, as the U.S. has passed another milestone in confirmed cases.
Coronavirus cases in the U.S. now top 20 million. That's according to new numbers released by Johns Hopkins University. At least 346,000 people have died in the U.S. from the virus. The CDC says nearly 2.8 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been administered. And here at home, Michigan won't be releasing any updated numbers until tomorrow because of the holiday. There could be some good news on the horizon in terms of getting kids back into school and back to normal. Dr. Anthony Fauci told a group on a Harvard webinar transmission, he believes, in schools is lower than originally thought. So the question now is, does that mean schools can open back up normally? Nick Monticelli is live tonight. And Nick, you know, a lot of folks wondering, is it really even that simple?
Unfortunately, Sandra, it's not that simple, because that's not the only factor that plays into all of this. So many school districts have so many other things to consider. Yes, transmission in schools isn't what they originally expected it to be, but when we take into consideration all the outside factors, it doesn't look the greatest as of now.
The number and percentage of children who are getting infected, even when there is community infection to a certain degree, is less than you would have expected.
That was Dr. Anthony Fauci on a Harvard webinar, saying it appears the risk to students and teachers is low.
It does not appear that the risk to the teachers is any greater than the risk they would face by being in the community in general.
But other experts add that's not the only factor. Dr. Matthew Sims is the director of infectious disease research at Beaumont Royal Oak. He agrees with Fauci on the data of transmission in schools, but he asks, does that data tell the entire story?
If it spreads in the school, the kid brings it home to their parent happens to be asymptomatic, they bring it to work and spread it there. Well, it's never traced back to the school at that point.
Superintendents agree it appears risk to students is low. But Chippewa Valley School Superintendent Ron Roberts says the logistics of everything else is the problem.
We have teachers who are ill. Maybe their spouse works in an occupation where they were exposed. We had teachers who were quarantined, who were teaching from home back into the classroom. And we had to have a substitute teacher or another district personnel in the room with the kids while the teacher was at home teaching. And there's a substitute shortage.
So here's the silver lining in all of this, though. When you talk to or listen to Dr. Fauci about the numbers and what he's talking about when keeping kids in school, it appears there's no reason to roll anything backwards. So from here on out, things should begin to improve. What is the actual timeline of all this? Well, the experts say around the fall is when we'll start to see some restrictions ease back a little bit. It's the end of 2021 when things will go back to normal, or whatever normal is going to be. So probably next school year is when kids will be, again, somewhat normal in their classrooms. We're live tonight. Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
All right. Thank you, Nick.
The new year brings a new change in Washtenaw County. In his first official day in his role, the new county prosecutor Eli Savitt rescinded several policies that were used by the office, the goal to help some offenders get an easier shot at a second chance.
A big change on the first day of the new year for Washtenaw County crime. The county's brand new prosecuting attorney lifting a county-wide zero tolerance policy on nearly every type of crime at 12:01 this morning. In a 12-page outline, Prosecutor Eli Savitt told his office they would be stopping policies that forced guilty pleas for certain crimes or prevented proper treatment for drug offenders, those with mental illness, and those who may have made a criminal mistake in their youth.
If we know that what's bringing somebody into the justice system, for example, is that they have a substance use issue, and we can get them into treatment and they can get better and we can prevent future harm that way, that's the option that we should be going with.
Savitt says while he's lifting the one-size-fits-all policies, their approach to violent crime and domestic violence will not put people at risk.
You know, saying that we don't have an across-the-board zero-tolerance policy does not mean that we're going easy on murderers or people that commit sexual assault or armed robberies.
In the end, the policies are about making sure the justice system can help produce justice instead of trapping members of the community in the system.
If we can get somebody back on the right path, we're not going to see them come back through the justice system over and over and over again. So it is an investment in people that pays off in the long term.
Savitt also pointed to the pandemic as a driver for these kinds of changes, citing a lack of an increase in crime after the county jail cut population to avoid spreading COVID.
Detroit police working to try to figure out how this crash that left 3 people dead happened last night. It happened just before 11 at Michigan and 16th, right near Michigan Central Station. One car was completely ripped in two. Half of it laid on the street. The other half was wrapped around a pole. 2 people in that car died. The 87-year-old driver in a Cadillac died at the hospital after being hurt in the crash. A couple who drove up to the scene wanted to help, but sadly they couldn't.
I was going to try to perform first aid, but it didn't make no use. And the other person that was inside the vehicle was so bad I didn't even want to look at it. It was
just that horrific.
At this point, police say they're still trying to figure out what may have caused the accident. They say both drivers were heading westbound at the exact same time. Police have not said if alcohol played a role in the crash. In Washington, Congress overrides a President Trump veto for the first time.
In a rare New Year's Day session, senators voted to override the president's veto of the military spending bill. The president vetoed the bill because it allows military bases named for Confederate figures to be renamed, and it also keeps protections for social media companies. And again, senators refused to vote on $2,000 stimulus checks.
Huge chunk would essentially be socialism for rich people, money flowing to households earning well into 6 figures, who did not lose any jobs or income last year.
The new session of Congress will be sworn in on Sunday. It's expected the new Congress will look at giving Americans more stimulus money as well. With 2020 in the rearview mirror, we are saying goodbye to a really tough year. COVID has been especially tough on our finances. Many people either losing jobs or having their hours reduced or even starting all over again.
Local 4 business editor and certified financial planner Rob Maloney tells us this is an especially good time to step back and look at your personal finances with a new eye.
All right, the holidays are just about over. I mean, yes, we do have the weekend after all, but a lot of people have been lounging, maybe taking vacations and the like, and it may be time to start considering what's going to happen in 2021. I have an idea for you. How about taking control of your money? The process starts with doing some of the heavy lifting you've either put off or never have done before. Planning Alternatives certified financial planner Nathan Mercero believes knowing what you have is the stepping off point.
Take inventory. look at your cash flow, look at your assets, what you own, look at your liabilities, what you owe, and start to set goals for 2021.
A beneficial thing you can do for your financial psychology is a net worth statement. Sounds big, but it's not. It's a simple equation. Assets minus liabilities equals net worth. So look at what you own and make a list. Use market values for a car, truck, or SUV, a house, a boat, any life insurance, a 401k, an IRA, or a savings account. Then list what you owe on the vehicle or vehicles, the house, the boat, whatever you owe in debt like college loans or credit card debt, the mortgage. Then net them. What you have left over is your net worth. Now, it may be a bigger number than you expected, might be smaller. Whether it's a positive or negative number, it gives you the baseline.
Even if you're living paycheck to paycheck, sitting down and looking at where the money is going is priority one. Because until you see what you have no way to control it.
And then comes the next basic step, getting organized through budgeting.
Some people on a monthly basis look at where their money is going. Other people set some money aside. I've heard of even using an envelope system to set some money aside for cash needs that occur during the month. Either way is fine.
And here is something else to consider as you look at your money for 2021. The first one is do a net worth statement. In other words, assets minus liabilities equals net worth. And that'll give you an idea where you stand. And then after that, it's time to really start budgeting. In Detroit, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, thanks, Rod. It is a new year, and many of us are resolving to be healthier.
Coming up, we're going to show you some of the top fitness trends for 2021. And here's Doc.
The pandemic has impacted almost every aspect of daily life, even our sleep. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, from bizarre dreams to sleepless nights, I'll show you what new research reveals about the ongoing impact on our ability to get sufficient rest, plus how to get back on track fast if you're one of those affected.